going on, YouTube fam? Beck here, and I've had a decent bit of requests for this type of video. I know they're kind of popular on YouTube. I'm not entirely sure why. If y'all just want to connect on a more personal level, I think that's actually kind of cool. So for any of you who do care, this is going to be one of those what's in my gym bag videos. Now, some of this stuff I don't obviously bring every single day. I just want to kind of give you an overall idea, and I'm not going to spend the time literally digging it out of my bag, so I have everything kind of laid out because it just makes it kind of easier. So I'll kind of go over what I use, why I use it. Keep in mind, nothing that I show in this video is stuff that you absolutely have to have, but if it helps you kind of get an idea of where I come from, then, you know, who knows. As far as my actual gym bag, this is just an old as shit Under Armour duffel bag, but this thing, I've had this guy for, I would say, 5 years, and the only reason I've had it for so long is just because it's held up for that entire time. I have literally had no need to go buy another bag. I do clean it. Oh, speaking of cleaning, let me run and get that real quick. Y'all, this stuff is a lifesaver for some of the stuff that is either difficult to clean, or you can't really get into a washing machine, or you don't want to put it in a washing machine because it may break it. But this Hero Clean Fabric and Gear, I mean, come on, it looks like marketing, but this stuff really does an awesome job. I go through this stuff. I mean, one bottle will last me probably about a month, but my gym bag, the insides of my shoes, for my sleeves in between washes, like you just come home, spray this, the inside of your hat. If you wear a hat to the gym a lot, don't want to put that in the washing machine, you spray the inside of this right when you get home. This stuff is a freaking lifesaver. Alright, so I'm going to go through some stuff that I don't obviously always keep in the gym bag. I might be wearing it at the time, but when it comes to shoes, if you all know me, I do like my specific shoes. I'm not like huge into they have to be super fashionable. I don't buy shoes because of the name, who's on them, who's selling them, who's endorsing them, but I like to buy them based off of function. So here I've got some Reebok lifters. I think these are called PR or New PR or something. I think they're actually going to be getting rid of these because I haven't seen them on their website anymore. You can still find them if you just Google Reebok lifting shoes. The reason I got these guys is because they were affordable at the time I got them. I think they were like 80 or 90 bucks. So when it comes to lifting shoes, those are a little, they get a little pricey, so 80 or 90 bucks for these is not bad. I like Reebok, it's quality gear. I've never had the Nike one, so I don't really have a comparison. And then fingers crossed for Christmas, I think I should be getting the newer Reebok lifters. I'll put an image down there, but yeah, I like these for leg day, for squats, and then of course I've been trying to get into a little bit more Olympic lifting. So just having that raised heel, that completely flat foot, makes a huge difference. So these are my leg day best friends, squat best friends. For general training, overall training, I've got the JJs, also by Reebok. I didn't get them because I love JJ Watt. I mean, obviously he's a phenomenal athlete when he's not injured, but no, they're awesome trainers. They've got a mostly flat foot, so I can still use them for deadlifts. They're not super cushiony to the point, there's actually almost barely any cushion in there. So I like these on like my deadlift days. Otherwise I'll just go barefoot for deadlifts. But for overall trainers, using them on a regular basis, those are my go-to. Those are the JJ2, I believe. I do have the JJ1s, which is one reason I bought the JJ2s, because they were a little bit better upgraded. And then if you're starting to see a pattern, and I promise I'm not sponsored by Reebok, I like their gear. It's affordable for what it is. These are the, I honestly don't know the name of these. These are like just what I use if I'm going to go hardcore cardio and I need something with a lot of cushion and a lot of speed and comfort. Super lightweight, I mean like ridiculous. I think these are called like foam riders or foam something or other, but super comfortable, and those are my cardio shoes. All that being said about shoes, guys, you don't have to have special fancy shoes. I just like certain things because I know what works for me. And when it comes to doing the squat, you definitely want to have as flat of a foot as possible. When it comes to doing a deadlift, you want to have as flat of a foot as possible. Squat, you can get away with the raised heel. Deadlift, if you have a raised heel, you'll be doing like a deficit deadlift. So it's just all about strategy. Foam roller. I was never one of those guys that wanted to look into doing the whole foam rolling thing. What's funny is actually how I bought this. I was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis or plantar farmers or something like that. But basically an issue with the foot and the doctor I was going to basically said that the only way to really cure it was going to be to have surgery, and I was like, I'm not going under the knife or something like that. And they said, oh, well, we can just zap it with a laser, and then it breaks up the muscle tissue and kind of gets rid of the, it's kind of like a 24/7 cramp in your foot. It's the best way I can describe it. So when they told me, oh, we'll shoot a laser at it, a really expensive laser to break up the muscle tissue, I said to myself, well, you can break up muscle tissue naturally. So I actually got this for my feet, because I was actually developing it in both feet, and I would, every day, I would put this on the ground, and I would stand on it with one foot, and I would roll, then I'd stand on it with the other foot, and I would roll, and then I got rid of my plantar fasciitis. This cost me $30, $25, way cheaper than that laser surgery crap would have been. So yeah, so now because of that, I'm an avid believer in foam rolling. So on heavy lifting sessions, or just days that I feel like I need a massage, do some foam rolling. Gloves and shin guards. So I will always keep gloves, MMA gloves, in my bag, shin guards usually as well, just because for me, my favorite cardio is hitting the punching bag. The way I first started losing weight, I was actually inspired by my martial arts background, and kind of I wanted to get back into it, and then I got really big into watching the UFC when it was starting to blow up, and I just got jealous again, and then I was like, you know what, I can do this, like I know I can. So MMA has always been a big thing for me when it came to weight loss. So it's just become a passion for me. It doesn't even feel like cardio because you're doing something you love. So some MMA training thrown in there. So I got the 4-ounce gloves. I got some shin guards for the kicks. On days if I have a real big heavy bag, I've got some Century. I believe these are 12 or 14-ounce gloves. Oh, this thing is cool. Speaking of the MMA training, so this is just one of your tube resistant bands. This one I think is a 30 or 40 pounder. So there's a ton of different things you can do with this. You probably have already seen resistance bands and kind of can think of some ideas. What I like to do is actually use this in my boxing training. When you're throwing a punch, if you have resistance and if you have a dumbbell, the weight's pulling down. So that is not a natural, you're not doing anything as far as with MMA training. So what I started doing to kind of help build speed and power is I take one of these resistance tubes, wrap it around my hands in a fist motion, wrap it around my back, and now when I throw my punches, the resistance is pulling back on my arm. So it's going to help with building speed, and it's a actual natural resistance for throwing a punch. And then more stretchy things, I do have a variety of bands. I will mostly use these for either hip flexion, where you will put it on right above or below your knees, depending on how much tension you're wanting, and then you do different walking motions. I like those for accessory work on the squats, where you'll put that, do a little bit lighter weight on the bar, have the resistance again about above your knees, wide stance, squat down, kind of helps again with that hip flexion. Now when it comes to elbows and knee sleeves, again, wasn't like a big advocate because I was always in the mindset that you don't need certain things in order to lift, which you don't. But I have noticed that it helps as I started doing it more often and getting heavier in weight. Granted, I am nowhere near actual like powerlifting or competition style, but just having this extra compression, the warmth, it definitely helps keep your joints intact. So this I have the Evolutionize and the Stoic, which I believe are actually the same company. If I remember, they switched over to be just the Stoic. They were the Evolutionize. Again, I didn't get anything specifically for any kind of brand. I just wanted to look at, does it have what I need? These are the like either 8 or 10 millimeter thickness, so they're plenty thick. They give you a little bit of rebound, but not too much. I hate when people assume that, oh, you're wearing, wraps, you're wearing sleeves, you have an unfair advantage. Having these on is protecting your elbow joint. There's no way that this is going to make you hit a lift that you wouldn't have hit naturally on your own, because that's not how it works. It doesn't literally just boing you back into position, but it does kind of help keep the joints warm and keep the compression on there. So I like it for recovery and for safety. Now, I do own a lifting belt. Most people would laugh at me and say this is not a lifting belt because it's made of nylon. But again, I only recently got 330 pounds on the squat. So heavier than some, nowhere near heavy compared to a lot. I honestly, and again, it has nothing to do with ego, I'm not a huge fan of lifting with the lifting belt, only because I still have love handles, and I feel like when I squat in a lifting belt, it doesn't, no matter where I put it on my body, it doesn't give me a comfortable kind of compression there, or I'm trying to see how to describe it. It feels like it gets in the way more than it does help. It's supposed to give you something to kind of, press your body against while you're lifting, stay tight in the lift. I feel like it does the opposite. Like when I squat, I feel like it just creates more discomfort and actually will throw me off my lift, because when I squat, I pay too much attention to that, and I'm rambling, sorry. Speaking of egos, I do have lifting gloves. I have lifting gloves. I also have calluses, probably can't see it very well on there. So, the reason I keep lifting gloves in my bag, the other day is actually a good example. I was trying to go a little bit heavier. I was doing a deadlift routine, and one of my calluses tore. And if you've not had a callus tear before, it hurts. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it at that very moment, except for kind of push through. So I go to Gold's Gym, which is a commercial gym, so a lot of people go there, and they probably don't want my blood and nastiness on the bar that they might use later, and I also don't know who was the last person to touch that or what they had. So when my calluses rip, or when it gets so painful that I have two options, which are either to stop lifting for the day and call it a day, or to put on some damn gloves. I hate the memes where people get this ego thing where they make fun of people like, oh, it looks like you're, wearing underwear on your hands, or oh, you got bitch mittens on, or whatever. Because you know what makes me a man? Not giving a what other people are wearing in the gym and concentrating on my own self. Alright, lifting straps. Again, lifting straps are not necessary if you are going for any kind of competition. When it comes to weightlifting, you probably don't even really want to use these, at least not that often. Because you're not going to be able to use them in most competitions. I have them because I've noticed that when I am doing a lot of accessory work, or if I'm working more on reps, having those straps definitely helps. All straps do is help a little bit with your grip. When you are lifting heavy, when you're lifting 400 plus pounds, I don't give a if you have straps on. That strap is not literally just taking your grip out of the equation. The straps will kind of help you with that double overhand grip, whereas a lot of what I do is the over-under when I go really heavy, just because it feels better for me. But to tell you how the straps are obviously not helping that much, when I first hit 425, I did it without the straps, because when I tried it with the straps, I couldn't get the lift. It didn't feel comfortable, it was pulling too much on my wrist, it didn't feel good. Then I did it over-under, mixed grip, and I got it. So straps are good. I like to use them like if I'm doing a ton of sets at 315, or I'm repping out 315. I like the straps because it'll help there. Oh, all this protection stuff. So these are wrist wraps. These are competition style, I think they said, which I don't know how many. I've never looked at competition, so I'm not sure all the rules. I'm sure there are some of them that will still not let you use any kind of wrist wrap. But I like the wrist wrap on bench press day, which is what I got going on today. You wrap them kind of high, kind of low. These ones have some stretch to them. These are also by Stoic. I swear to God, I'm not sponsored. But yeah, so the wrist wrap just kind of helps keep your joint straight. So when you're doing the bench, you don't have a bunch of flexion. It's not going all crazy. It definitely makes a big difference when you're going heavy. Just kind of give you a little bit more of that support. Alright, some of this other stuff might just be a little random. I got free during one of my orders from bodybuilding.com a fitness log. I keep my own, my current regimen I have printed out here just because it's in the setup that I like, but this is a cool thing. I may use it one day, I might use it when I'm working with clients, but it's just it's a fitness log. Gym towel. If you're not taking a gym towel to the gym, then screw you, because nobody wants to sit in your sweat. So this was one I actually got from Fit Lifestyle Box. Let the gains begin, that's cute. Shaker bottle. Make sure you take these out of your car or your gym bag and wash them daily. So sometimes I will do a protein. I will always have Almost always have a pre-workout, and I cycle through some of my pre-workouts because I don't want to get used to them, because I have had that happen before. So right now I'm doing the Sparta Nutrition Kraken just because somebody had suggested it, because I have a high tolerance for a lot of pre-workouts. Pretty good. I like it. I wouldn't say that it gives me an insane pump or anything, but it's good. It does the job. And then I'll do a whole video on supplements so we don't take up time on this one. Oh yeah, these guys. So I'll always usually keep some kind of a snack thing in there too, for usually either right after the gym or before the gym, depending on where I'm at and what I've eaten. This is the Quest Beyond Cereal Protein Bar. Pretty damn keto friendly. More randomness I've got from these packs, but it's kind of cool. So I got a little sample pack of Tiger Balm, so if I'm just really in pain one day or really just need some kind of help. And then Shower Pill, the Athletic Body Wipe. So I got a couple sample packs of those. So it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a wet wipe for your body if you don't have time to take a full shower and you don't want to smell like ass. Athletic tape, that should speak for itself. I've got a couple of tripods, one for the GoPro, one for the cell phone, because when you run a YouTube channel you have to be that douchebag. And I've got my GoPro Hero 4. I've got a slimming belt, I think that's what they call them. It's just a neoprene belt that you wrap around. So since I lost a good bit of weight, I do have some excess skin, and depending on what kind of lift I'm doing, sometimes it can get in the way, or I just don't like the way it feels, especially when doing Olympic lifts where you have to, you know, drag it up your body. So I like this because it kind of helps compress everything. And yeah, compression shirts, I'm sorry, they just don't do the job 100%. Got a solar charger for cell phones or anything else USB. Got some smelly good sprays. Guys, please don't be that douchebag that takes a shower in freaking body spray. So I have little bottles. Both of them were gifts. One's a Tap Out Defy, and then this other one is basically Aquadigio. Jump rope, again, self-explanatory. And then of course, because you know, there's sometimes there's some freaks at the gym, so you want to make sure that you always got some protection, if you know what I'm saying. Protection. What do you think I was talking about? So again, these are just things that I like to have with me when I go to the gym. Not every single thing here is always in my gym bag 24/7. I swap out things depending on the day and what I'm doing. Comment below, what are your favorite things to bring to the gym, and is there a specific reason? Do you have one thing that you will never not go to the gym with, or something that you always have to have when you go to the gym? So comment below, like, subscribe, and as always, initiate, dedicate, decimate.